This is Truth Bronco with Bill Ward. On this channel, you'll see many different things. You'll hear many different things. I promise you it will all be the truth. We'll talk about the Bible. We'll talk about grizzly bear confrontations that I have had personally. We'll call coyotes, and we'll be in the Rocky Mountains in the North Country of the United States of America, and we will be down here where I am right now, filming the Colorado River and the northern stretches of Lake Havasu in Arizona. Welcome to Nevada, everyone. I'm in the area just a little bit north of Ely, Nevada, and I'm camped here on a road that just goes back into a campground. I stopped at a campground just before here, and this is way back. There are ranches around here, and it's pretty remote. And I stopped at this campground that's being managed by the Forest Service, and there's nothing there except for a place to build a fire and also a picnic table. There were, I think, about a dozen sites there. 3 of them were $10 a night. About 3 more were $20 a night. 3 more were $30 a night. And they even had a couple sites there that were $40 a night. Couldn't believe it, because there was no electricity, there was no dump station, there was nothing really there except for that, and there were no campers there either. Just thought you might like to laugh at that for a little bit. As you're looking at my camp behind me here, and I'm going to turn you around so you can see some things, at about 6,000 feet elevation, far off there in the distance, that white stuff is snow. And we're at the end of May right now. And I want to show you something else that I think that some of you might find interesting. And this is my camp once again. Once again, there is my camp, and this is a road coming into it. And as you look at this fence here, I want you to think about that. And here's this road that continues on to another campground way back there, about another 3 to 5 miles, and the snow on the mountain in the background. But I thought some of you might find this interesting. See this fence here? This fence is about 10 feet tall. Woven wire, and beyond the fence over there you see a big a ranch and a big haystack. Now, many of you know that this fence is not just to keep this rancher's Angus bulls that were grazing out here a little while ago in, but it's to keep elk out. And when I got, so they won't go over and eat the man's hay or the rancher's hay. When I first got to my camp here, I noticed elk tracks where I put my tent down. So it's pretty cool. I really, really love elk, as you well know. We'll see where I am next time as I head to Montana. Welcome, everyone. This is where I camped last night. I am currently near Twin Falls, Idaho, and I'll give you a 360-degree pan of this camping area where I stayed last night. And when I came in, it was just partly cloudy, and I had some things that I wanted to do on the internet, which is good signal here. And after about 20 minutes of doing that, I looked up from my computer and I noticed that there was a thunderstorm here. So I hurriedly put up my tent, and about halfway through it, which is not good, that thunderstorm hit. So I got a couple towels soaked with water that I had to mop up that got inside my tent before I got the fly on it. And everything worked out fine because the thunderstorm then had some breaks in it, which allowed me to go ahead and finish putting my fly on, which stopped it from leaking. And you're looking there at the Snake River Gorge and Twin Falls, Idaho. Not a lot of people here, huh? Free camping. Welcome to the Rockies. Getting to the edge of it at least, anyway. And I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to go north to Chalice, Idaho, and Salmon River and that area in there, or I'm going to go to Dillon, Montana. The weather reports don't look good as far as super high elevation areas, which there are some passes and some about 8,000 feet elevation, maybe even a little bit higher, and there's snow all over the mountains there in the Rocky Mountains. Dillon's a little lower, it's about like here, about a mile high, and I think with this looming weather, if the weather report's right, you never know, but with this looming weather, I think it might be a little bit hard for me maybe to put up my tent with some snow on the ground and that kind of thing. I've done that many times before, but it's not a lot of fun. And I think so probably what I'll do is I think I'll head toward Dillon, Montana, and I'll set up camp there. It's got, I've got water there. I can get gasoline there. Sometimes in this, and I've got cell service. Sometimes in this backcountry here, like I was yesterday, there's no cell service. And I had to drive 15 miles to be able to get to where I could get some cell service, which is, you know, kind of important when we're doing what we're doing, isn't it? So I'm going to try to give you some videography of that Snake River Gorge over there before I start heading toward Dillon. I'll talk to you later. This is the Snake River and the gorge where Evel Knievel attempted to jump across it in 1974, failed because his parachute opened on takeoff. And then in 2016, a guy by the name of Eddie Braun, a stuntman, actually got it done in 2016. What we're looking at down there are some people that are hang gliding. We're kiting. This is a overlook area underneath Highway 93. We can see some people in the river down there kayaking. We look off toward the north. Twin Falls, Idaho, right over there. We're looking south now along the Snake River and Snake River Gorge. I understand it was about a mile across where Evel Knievel tried to make the jump, and we're Eddie Braun successfully did it. Welcome to Dillon, Montana. This is where I'm camped at Barrett's Campground. It's free. Give you a little glance at what it looks like. I'm going to tell you a story of something that I witnessed in those trees about 2 years ago. This is my camp. These, I believe, are called Rattlesnake Cliffs because of all the rattlesnakes that are up on top. They're prairie rattlesnakes here in Montana, as opposed to western diamondback rattlesnakes and others down in Arizona. About 2 years ago, I was reading a book in this area here, and where you see this tree that's been cut off, and excuse the dog, please, but he's some friends here that are in the campground. But this tree's been cut off, but I want to tell you a story about why they cut it down. I was sitting right about here, and this tree that's no longer in existence was about the size of this tree right here. And all the other trees that are here. And while I was reading my book right here, I heard an explosion. And it was this tree that you see only a stump now. And it was exploding, and I knew what it was right away, and I wondered if it was falling in my direction or not, as I was sitting right here about 10, 15 feet away from it. Was it coming my direction or not? And a big tree coming your direction is not good. So I looked up and I saw that it was falling actually toward that parking area out there where you see that car. My car was parked right about there. Actually, maybe just a little bit to the left of where that car is parked. And this tree slammed down and landed clear out into that parking lot right there next to where that car was, and missed my car by 10 feet. When you're that close to that big of a tree exploding, and it exploded about 10 feet up into the tree, not where you see that stump, but higher up into the tree. It looked fine, like the rest of these trees look here, but it was rotten inside. And it exploded about 10 feet up into the tree, right over my head while I was sitting here reading a book. When a tree does that, that's big as these trees, it's a pretty loud noise. It'll wake you up. I wasn't asleep, but I was reading a book, and I was no longer interested in that book. Praise God, I was saved again. This park and camping area is fairly large, and you can see another tree there that has fallen. I'm going to end this video because it's a traveling video here. You'll see more things in Montana, but for this video here that encompassed Nevada, where I was, Twin Falls, Idaho, where I was, and now in Dillon, Montana, where I currently am. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share and hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you next time.